Please. He can't even dunk in senior high. Why should we want him? The professor from the University of South Carolina said frankly to Middleton's father. What he's looking for is a highly gifted player, but this boy in front of him can't even dunk. So, why should they take him? Such disdain led to a dramatic change in Middleton's life. Starting from that day. What's going on? In 1991, Middleton was born in Charleston, South Carolina. Like many black families, Middleton's family was impoverished from an early age. But he was lucky, because his father was willing to nurture him with all he had. However, unfortunately, Middleton's talent was average. There was no sign of him becoming a basketball star. But fortunately, Middleton didn't lose hope. He would train for about 6 hours every day. Seeing his son working so hard, his father deliberately took him to train with a high-end AUU team. But just as he started, Middleton realized a significant gap between himself and the others. As Middleton later said, "Before I went, I thought I was okay, only to find out I was terrible." After that day, Middleton trained even harder. After entering high school, Middleton's basketball skills improved a lot, but they still paled in comparison to those basketball stars. During his senior year, a coach from the University of South Carolina went to various high schools to scout talents. He inadvertently saw Middleton play and thought this young man was decent. So he found the father's contact details, but he asked only one question and rejected Middleton. "Can you dunk?" Middleton's father didn't know how to answer. He could only say, "His scoring ability is strong." The coach didn't want to waste more time, so he clearly refused Middleton's father. After this event, Middleton felt his body was too thin, not suitable for high-level leagues, so he began to work on gaining muscle. Finally, a year later, he caught the eyes of many universities. Texas A&M University was one of them. Their coach liked Middleton very much, but when he enrolled, he was given a realistic assessment. His IQ is beyond his age, but his physical fitness can't keep pace with his ideas. In other words, Middleton still needed to gain more muscle. With a truly appreciative person at his side, Middleton developed rapidly. Finally, in his junior year, he felt the time was ripe. Some NBA scouts also kept coming to watch him play. So after the season, he chose to enter the NBA draft. "I am the team leader. If you disagree, we'll have a one-on-one showdown like men," Middleton bluntly said to Antetokounmpo. He believed that he was the team's boss. This skinny, tall guy in front of him was just his assistant. But is this really the case? In the 2012 draft, Middleton and his father, dressed in suits, sat in the green room, waiting for the first round of names to be announced. He did not hear his own. Later, he reluctantly stopped looking at the big screen. Finally, with the 39th pick, the Detroit Pistons selected him. However, during the summer league, Middleton took a significant hit. The coach thought his attitude on the court was too lax, so a timeout was deliberately called. The coach pointed to his face, harshly reprimanding him. Gradually, the coach noticed something. Middleton's style seemed to be like this. It looked lazy, but he did his job perfectly. The coach always found him hard to trust, perhaps because of his own old-fashioned style. Due to injuries later, Middleton did not perform well on the court, giving the coach an opportunity. He was benched. Middleton had no choice. He had to wait for recovery and then prove himself. But the coach no longer seemed to give him the opportunity. In this way, Middleton's rookie season was disappointing. Eventually, a year later, he was traded to the Bucks. And it was this year, the Bucks chose Antetokounmpo through the draft. At this point in the Bucks team, Middleton was the most capable one. But the team saw Antetokounmpo as the core of the team. This upset Middleton, so he deliberately increased his shooting attempts during the game. But Antetokounmpo didn't hold a grudge, because his domination was not enough to compete with Middleton. This situation lasted until 2015. The relationship between the two deteriorated again. Middleton always thought he was the team leader. Antetokounmpo thought so too. So in training, the scale of their confrontation got bigger and bigger. According to Antetokounmpo, "Every time I get home from the gym, my body is covered with bruises and scratches." Head coach Kidd finally realized the seriousness of the problem. To ease the relationship between the two, he held a meeting after training and asked everyone in front of them all, "Who do you think is the team leader?" At that time, most people chose Antetokounmpo, but Middleton disagreed. He was shocked. He knew that Antetokounmpo was growing at an immeasurable speed. But after that day, he seemed to understand something. No longer deliberately vying for the position of team leader, just doing his job on the court. As Kidd later recalled, after that day, Middleton seemed like a different person. He knew that if there was infighting in the team, it would be difficult for the team to win, and he also knew that besides himself, the team considered Antetokounmpo as the core of the squad. Judging from his performance, he didn't deserve such a big contract. After being upset by the Raptors, Middleton came under fire. Some people said he did not deserve such a large contract. At least when Antetokounmpo was targeted, he did not stand up and save the team. So what happened? In 2019, the chemistry between Middleton and Antetokounmpo reached an unprecedented state. The two could complement each other on the court. When Antetokounmpo was targeted, he could always step up and turn the tide. His efficient catch and shoot earned him a place in the All-Star game that year. After breaking through into the playoffs, the Bucks team also bulldozed their way to the Eastern Conference Finals. Facing the equally good Raptors, the Bucks fought brilliantly in the first 2 games, but starting from the third game, the Raptors seemed to have found a way to limit Antetokounmpo. Leonard was there to guard Antetokounmpo, letting him shoot. At this key moment, Middleton was the one who needed to stand up most, but he disappeared. No matter how much the Raptors drained Antetokounmpo, Middleton just couldn't make that damn basket. The final result was clear. The Raptors reversed 4 games to advance to the finals, and won the championship of the season. After that year, Middleton faced endless doubts. Everyone thought he couldn't play against the wind, nor could he become a key player. Such doubts only ended in 2021, with a perfect full stop. The Bucks made it to the playoffs again that year, and under their leadership, successfully broke out of the Eastern Conference. In the finals against the Suns, after losing the first 2 games, they reversed 4 games to turn the situation around, and won the highly coveted championship. Aside from Antetokounmpo receiving praise, Middleton also received universally positive reviews, because his performance throughout the playoffs was impeccable. Whether it's offense or defense, he has shown the level a team's second-in-command should have. He even reached the level of a top-tier star player.